A bag of popcorn, a bag of chips, yeah. You know, protein bar. You can tip in many different ways, yeah. So I can make it kind of a big tip jar. Okay, so guys, shh, pay attention, pay attention. I want this to be a 2-color, but I'm going to demonstrate a 3-color, okay? So I want to show you, actually, it could be a 4-color or 5-color. Okay, I want you to look at this. Hey, you guys, you 4 need to come over here. You 4 over there and you stand up, or you 3 can come over here. Stand right here. I know, and you guys come on over here. Yeah, come on. Come, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So let's look at this right here. Let's look at this picture here, this drawing, right? 1 color could be and will be the what? The line, right? That's what I've taught you. Now, if we want to make this multiple colors, what could we do in addition to that? What could I do? Look at this right here. See this? That could be all 1 color. So the background could all be 1 color. That's color number 1. So you'd make 1 screen for that. And then we would do the line work is color number 2, right? You guys, come on over. This way. Come on over. Not over there. You gotta be on this side. This side. This side of the grain right here. Yeah. Good.
Can you do like words and stuff in other colors too? Could that be a 3rd color?
Yeah, you could add. Yeah, let's say you want to write words on here on top of the feet. Yeah, you can get creative and do write words on there. Put hearts on it. I don't care. So now I want you to look at this again. Let's look at this in a different way. So see where I put his hand right up on that border right there? Okay? And right down here is dividing. Right here, that's a shape. That's a shape. So this right here, this section could be 1 color. Okay, and I'm going to show you this. I'm not just going to tell you this. And see this right here in between his hands? That's a small shape right there. So that could be 2 colors. And then you see this right here? This empty space, that could be another color. You guys following? And then in between his legs, there's a little triangle. That could be another color. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 possible colors. And then what could we do?
Body parts?
The body, just his body. If we outlined him like a cookie cutter and filled it in, that just his body's another color. You guys following? So we got these different shapes. We got shape number 1, 2, 3, 4. This could be a 5-color plus the line, 6-color.
Can you make his shadows
And then
different colors?
how many weeks is each color worth for an assignment? 1. So if this is a 6-color, that would be worth how many weeks?
6.
6 weeks. Let's say you did a 6-color with this right here. That's 6 weeks. That makes sense? Okay. So now I want to show you what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to cut this out here. But I'm not gonna do 6 colors because it'd take too long. But I am gonna do a couple of them. But what I could do too is I could just do the background a color. That could be this, that, and this could be 1 color, and then the body could be a color, and then the line would be a color, and that's a 3-color. Does that make sense? So anyway, if it's not making sense to you, I'm gonna do this really quick. And I'm going to do it kind of loose and rough. And if you want to do it loose and rough, that's fine. If you want to do it tight, that's fine too. So you'll see what I mean by kind of loose and rough. Okay. All right. So this is going to be a pretty lengthy demo, but it's worth it. All right. So I got my ink. I'm going to take my vellum. Okay, I'm going to take that. See, I can see right through it here. And then I'm going to do this. And you could take the dip pen, or you could just use a brush to do this. You could dip the brush in the ink and trace it, or do this. I'm going to do this right here. This is too big for me to be sitting down and doing this, so I got to stand up and do this. And the cool thing about this, look, these nibs, you can push down, push lightly. Oh, it's full, so I got a really thick line there. But you can push down harder and get a wide line. And you can push down lightly and you can get a thinner line. You see that? Now, I'm not tracing this exactly. I don't care if it's like exact. And then you were saying, oh, you could make each body part a color. You could. You can make this thing 16 colors if you wanted to. And that's worth 16 weeks. You know, 1 color a week. That's all that I'm asking for. Okay, so that's 1 color. Let me put that over here. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do with this is you guys are gonna be required to do at least a 2 color with this. I'm gonna probably make this into a 3 color. So okay, cool. That's good right there. So now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get a brush. Make sure this is still on screen. Okay, cool. So here's now I got to decide my colors here. All right, so we're printing on white paper. Okay, what's the problem with this line right here? It's not dark enough. So here, let me put this in here. So this line's not dark enough. I'm going to need to go over this line with another layer of ink on top. And right here, and right here. It's kind of thin and light, okay? Because we need it opaque. We need it black, okay? So why do we need it black and opaque? So the light doesn't go through it. And the ink, when it dries, is opaque, okay? Now, after this dries, I can put another layer on top, but after it dries, I can flip this over and do ink on the other side to ensure that it's opaque. Ensure that the light won't go through it. Does that make sense? Do you follow it? Guys following? Okay. So I'm just going to leave that aside for now. And then I'm going to make a decision here. So I want this to be a 2 color. So we got the white of the paper. We got the line as 1 color. I'm going to have the background a color. So as I was getting ready this morning, I was like thinking about this project, and I was like, oh, it'd be rad to do like get a like a portrait of a dog or a cat or a rat or a bat or a bird or a frog or a lizard or like a portrait, you know? And then I was going to do this with that, but I'm like, well, we've already done this drawing of this person, so we'll just use that. But you could apply this to, you know, an animal, to a landscape, to a, you know, like I said, a portrait of an animal, an object, your favorite musical artist. Oh, shoot. So when I want to get steady, when I want more control, elbow on the table. See how my whole arm's on the table here? And that way you can have more control and steadiness with your hand. Doesn't that look cool? Okay, so you saw the drawing before, right? So the drawing before was kind of like, okay, that's cool. That's a cool line drawing, you know? But look at that. Now, what's interesting about this? What's strong about this? Visually strong. Contrast. Okay? So in art, there's this thing called contrast. And if you have contrast, what is contrast? It's the level of light and dark. Okay? If you have a low contrast, then it's not going to pop. It'll be subtle. Like, someone will have to look at it and be like, whoa, what's going on there? What's going on in that picture? And they'll have to it could bring them closer to it because they can't really see what's going on. Now, if you have something, see how stark this is? See, there's a lot of contrast. You have black and you have white. It immediately catches the human eye. Okay? So I'm not just talking about this inking thing. So I want to do this now. Like I said, I'm improvising kind of. So that's my two color. Oh, shoot. Now it's dripping. Okay. So one color, two color. So what color could I do the line? Let's talk about color now. I talked about contrast. Now what I want to do with this drawing is this. I like that, how that looks. And I have my original drawing here. I think that looked really, really cool. So now I want to do this. I just want to do this to my original drawing because I like the way that looks so much. And I drip, but whatever, who cares? And the brush is rad because it's fluid and it flows and it makes these unintended shapes. You could be very specific or you could be very loose. I'm being really loose right now. Look at that texture. Look at that texture right there. Now watch how now this isn't like this paper is really intended for, it's not intended for wet mediums. Okay, a medium is what you're using in art. You know, are you using pencil? Are you using charcoal? Are you using ink? Are you using paint? Are you using digital? Like, what are you using? Okay, now this paper is intended for dry media. Okay, it's intended for dry media. And I just cut some of my drawing off because it was wrong, and I just fixed it. Okay. So this is intended for dry, but I'm putting ink on it. Who cares, right? But what's happening? It's warping. But I like the way that looks so much, I'm like, I have to do this to my drawing here. Now, if I didn't want this to warp, right? What kind of paper could I use? Watercolor paper, exactly. And there's also there's paper that you can use specifically for inking. It's made for inking. It's thicker paper. I have some of it, and it's really smooth. Be more careful here. All right, so look how that pops now. And I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, one more thing I want to do here. Now, what I could do, so I got my two colors, all right? And I'm just going to demo that. But what I could do is I could get another piece of, and I'm going to let this dry a little bit. Will you hand me a rag there? Just behind me, the little rag, just any little rag. Thank you. So I want to do this. Okay, so I spilled, right? So I'm going to get a rag. Rags are in that tub right there. Let's cut this a little bit smaller. Here, put that back in there. Thanks. And let's go like that. All right. Now, let's go. I'm getting ink all over the place. Welcome to art class. All right, put that in screen. All right, now what I'm going to do is I did that little side thing. Now check it out. It's popping now. My drawing's really popping. You know what I mean? High contrast. High contrast. It'll grab the eye. So someone could walk into a room or a gallery and just go, they're immediately go, whoa, dang, let's get closer to that. You know, if this was on that side of the room, it's going to pop. Someone will come in that door and be like, whoa, what is, okay? And you can make it super detailed and do hatching, which I haven't explained. But, okay, so now what I want to talk about and show you guys is this. Let's dip this in again. Whoa, am I out of ink? Okay. Light pressure. My hands on the table. I'm being more careful going over that. So now that line's going to be plenty dark, and it won't. If something's not dark enough and we're burning a screen, what's going to happen? Is that going to wash out outside? No, it's not going to wash off. It's not going to wash off outside. Okay, because the light went through and it hardened the screen. So your guys' job today is to do something like I did. Okay? You don't worry about shading anymore. If you want to finish shading, go ahead and do that. So your job today, it's Thursday, is to do this. And we'll see how far we get. I'm going over the lines that aren't that dark. And you can kind of tell, like that one's not that dark. That one's not that dark. And I kind of like that drip that happened. Okay. All right. Now, what I could do is I could take the acetate, right? I could take this stuff, and I could have inked this side and inked that side. And then that would be, the line would be a color. This would be a color number 2. This would be color number 3. Okay? It could be any different combinations, okay? I'm kind of wanting to do another one on the body. So let's do this. And this is going to help you guys with your drawings too. And thinking about shape. I want to do one more thing, and then I'm going to have you guys do what I've just done. All right. So I need some more ink. Really, really careful with that stuff. All right. So, last thing, now watch this. What I'm going to do now is this. And you can do this too with yours. I'm going to do this. And then we'll talk about color. Is that on the screen? Yeah. Light pressure. I'm just skimming along the surface. Sergio's stripping screens right now. I'm coating screens. So next week we're going to be ready to go. Next week we're going to be ready to go, meaning we'll be ready to execute, print, what you've done today. I'm sitting down because I can do that. Now I'm going to stop right there. See that? I'm stopping at that border. Okay. Quiz time. It's not really a quiz. It's a question. Okay. Right. So this right here, also in art, when you're drawing something, okay, and not just screen printing, the thing that you're drawing, right? In this case, it's a person. Okay? That's the positive shape. The stuff around the thing that you're drawing, what might that be called? Negative shape. Negative shape or negative space, yes. Okay? Both are important when you're creating a work of art. Positive space, negative space, or shape, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. Okay? So now what do we got here? We got one color, the background, 2 color for the figure, 3 color for the line work. That will go last. Okay? You guys following? Okay. So that's it right now. That's all I want to show you guys. Now I want you to take your drawing and do what I did with the stuff. Okay? Last thing, I'm going to take this. I'm going to wash this out in the sink. This brush, I'm going to put it back in the brush holder. Okay? And put all my stuff away. All right?
Mr. Harward?
Wait, yeah. Question, hold on. Yeah.
Does it have to be that drawing?
If you want to quickly do another drawing, a line drawing of something else, and you can do this to it, sure.
You want it to be that singular
But I want, yes, I want it to be this. Oh, I mean, yeah, because look.
But we didn't do that on our.
Yeah, I know you didn't. But so what you guys are gonna do? Listen.
We'll need to make a new one.
Okay, good question. Good question. Look, so I didn't have you do that singular line thing. But what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna make a line drawing out of the drawing that you have right now. That's why I said I don't care about the shading anymore. I just want you to do a line drawing kind of like I did with the ink, just like this. Does that make sense? So what I did, I want you to do. Okay?
But we can do it with something else.
But you can do it with a different subject matter. Yeah, I don't care.
If we remake it, can we?
Like if you looked up a different photo, a photo of a dog or a photo of a cat, like I was saying.
Can we use a smaller piece of paper? Or would you rather?
Yeah, I would make it smaller, yeah, because it's got to be no taller than like, where's the, like 16 inches. I don't know. Did you need a ruler?